Hello, SRF Ninja here from soreelflix.com. It's that time of the month again, the end of the month of July, and I'm here to show everything that I purchased in July or received for a review. So let's get straight down to it. I got a couple of DVDs. I got a good amount. I think most of them are all reviewed for companies, so let's get straight down to the DVDs. First up, boom, American Bully comes from Wild Eye. I think I gave this a 2 out of 5, I think. Maybe a 3. The front cover shows that like somebody's going into school to shoot it up, but that's not the case here. This is actually a pretty crazy movie overall. Acting is okay. That's what I think I had the problem the most with, except for the guy playing the bully. He's the one that does the best acting out of it. Anyways, I thought it was a decent film. If you can rent it, rent it. Next up, a documentary, which I have been receiving a lot of lately, and it's like a comedy. And guess what it's about? Boom. I'm no dummy. That's about ventriloquism, and of course it has 3 people. Well, it's got more than 3 people, but the main people who are talking in the documentary are Jeff Dunham, which everybody knows. This is the guy who has like several puppets, and I think everybody knows that guy. And it has Jay Johnson and Lynn Trefziger. Lynn Trefziger? I think I'm saying that incorrectly, but I don't know. Anyways, I thought this was actually pretty good. I think I would give this a 4 out of 5. It starts with where ventriloquism comes from, like the start of it, from back in the day, the black and white days on TV until now, and where it's leading to. I think it's a really good documentary. I think you should definitely pick it up if you like comedy. There are some good laughs in this. Also, if you're interested in ventriloquism, check this out. And I have to say, this has a ton of bonus features on it. It has a whole disc. Definitely gotta check that out if you're in the comedy and dummies and whatnot. Next up, a DVD called Blood Cells. I recently just seen this. It's distributed by Garden Thieves Pictures. Blood Cells. It's actually a pretty good movie, I think. And I think I gave it a 3 out of 5 if I'm not mistaken. You can check out my review right here along with the other 2. I might not have pointed there, but they'll pop up. You just click on those. Anyways, this was a pretty crazy film, I would say. It's about this guy who leaves home after a crazy thing that happens when he's a little bit younger at his family farm. And throughout the film, you have flashbacks of what happened to his father, which is pretty crazy. And at the end, it gets you thinking. If you were in his situation, would you do what he did? Pretty weird, pretty crazy. You definitely got to check this out just for the ending. Overall, it's a good film. Definitely check this out. Check out my review. Maybe it's for you. Next up, another DVD called Reckless. Boom. This one's by Artsploitation. This one's a pretty crazy movie, I would say. The entire movie's basically in one room with these 2 guys who kidnapped this lady, which one of them knows, by the way. And you can kind of tell how it falls apart because one of them knows one. But anyways, I think it's a decent film. I can't remember what I gave it. I think I gave it a 3 out of 5, if I'm not mistaken. And if you can find it, pick it up. If you can find it to rent, give it a shot. Now let's get down to my Blu-rays. Triple pack. Oh, Patrick Swayze, my man. This is a good triple pack. I've been waiting for this to come down in price, and it never can go down in price. I was looking for the $9.99 mark, but it's always remained at $13.99, so I picked it up anyway and used my Amazon points. Point Break. Really good movie. Gotta have that in your collection. Come on. I know Patrick Swayze isn't the main lead. He's the second, and you got Keanu Reeves in it. Come on. Really good movie. Next of Kin. I never heard of it before. First time watching it, and it was actually a pretty good movie. I thought it was decent. And Ghost, which I've seen like 3, 4, 5 times throughout my life. Pretty good movie. Gotta give it up. Gotta get this triple pack if you're a Patrick Swayze fan. If you don't have it, you're not. Next up, Oculus. I've been wanting to get this for a very long time. Got it on a really good price, and happy I picked it up because it's actually pretty decent. I know it's got like bad reviews, but it also got good reviews, and I'm in the middle. I think I would give this maybe a 3.5 out of 5. It's got some good parts in it, but then, it is kind of mediocre. Next up, You're Next. Boom. Again, I picked this up. It's actually got a pretty crazy story to it. The story, it's kind of a twist on other stories you might have seen before about killers and whatnot. Come think about it, you think about Scream type of thing. Anyways, this is actually a mediocre film. I'll definitely give this a shot if I were you. If you can find it on Netflix, check it out, or Redbox, or even buy it. I recommend buying it. Next up, continuing on the horror stuff, Poltergeist 2 and 3 got this for a really good price of $4.99. $1.99. Had to pick it up because I really love the first one. Now, these two are just okay. Now, most people like 3 better than 2, but I like 2 better than 3. Here's why. Because the entire family is back for 2. Yeah, it's kind of the same story, but the poltergeist follows them to another house, and, it happens again. Now, one lady shows up again, but it does kind of get a little witchcrafty with this necklace and whatnot. The third one is just the girl in it, the little girl. She stays with her mother's sister inside of this building made of glass, and all kinds of crap happens, and it follows her again and whatnot. And definitely a decent pickup. Definitely for the price, you gotta pick that up. Next up, Will Ferrell, Kevin Hart in a mediocre movie, and I picked it up at a low price. That's why I bought it. And man, this get hard. Now, it has laughable moments, of course, but the story is just okay. It's not enough laughable moments, I would say, to keep me interested in it, but it is a good viewing. I'll definitely say rent it, get it on Redbox or on Netflix. But if you're a Will Ferrell fan like me, I just have to have it in my collection, so go pick it up. Next up, Ex Machina or Machina, whatever. Boom. Actually, this is a really good movie. I really enjoyed this. It's definitely futuristic, mostly dialogue till you hit the end and you get a little bit of action out of it, but not a lot. But really good story, I feel, and I really love the effects in this. Really good. Definitely pick this up. At least give it a rent. Come on. Next up, Maggie. This is more of a dark film in tone, kind of gritty, but it's not really scary per se. It's about zombies, but not really. There's zombies in it, and of course Maggie's turning into the zombie, and these people turn into zombies very slowly, and he's trying to fight off these people who are trying to capture and whatnot. Anyways, I thought it was a decent film. It's not great. Some people think it's really great, but maybe it was my mood at the time. I thought it was kind of boring. I wasn't really feeling it too much, but it is still a decent film. I definitely would say give it a shot, and Schwarzenegger does a really good job in it. It's really good acting in it. Even though it's not an action film, he does good acting. Next up, a movie that's been out for a long time, and I never purchased it, and I always wanted to watch it. Mud. Had to pick this up. Yeah, it's a little long, 130 minutes, but hey, it is a good film. Matthew McConaughey kicks ass in this film. There's a little bit of action in it, but the story is really good. Definitely gotta give that a shot if you haven't seen it yet, like me. Go pick it up. Next up, from Olive Films, which is Stone Cold. Had to pick this up because it looks cool. Look at that. It's about a cop going undercover in his biker gang. But anyways, it's a pretty good film. If you like 80s type of action, guys with big muscles, bikes, shootouts. It's actually a pretty good film, and I'll definitely pick that up for you if you are into that type of 80s action movies. Maybe it's from the 90s, but it looks kind of 80s. Next up, here comes a bunch of movies I did reviews for, and it's my Will Go USA collection here. First up is Police Story, Lockdown from Jackie Chan. A lot of people probably give it a mediocre review. Some probably hate it. Why? Because it's not like a typical Jackie Chan movie, where it's like with comedy, and it's fun, with tons of stunts, lots of action. This is none of that. It's got action, yes, and it's got some stunts in it. Take a look at Jackie, man. He's like 60-something, right? He's getting old. He can't do all those high-flying stunts anymore. But what this film brings to the table, it's darker, it's grittier, and it's got more acting in it. Actually, Jackie Chan does a really good job. And if you're one of the lazy people who love putting on the dub track, the English dub track, which this has, Jackie Chan dubs his own voice, which makes it a little bit better. But not for the acting, of course. You're watching in the original language track, better acting. Anyways, a pretty good film. Definitely check out my review right here. Click on that, see what I think. I say go pick it up. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Put it in your collection. Next up, Donnie Yen, Killer Kung Fu. I think I gave this a 3.5, maybe a 4. I can't remember. It's one of those two. But again, just like the last one, some people will give it a mediocre to a little bit low. Why? Donnie Yen doesn't do a lot of action in it. Again, it's more acting. Donnie Yen's playing an undercover cop who is a criminal. He's not really a cop. He's been released from jail to track this guy who's killing a bunch of people who Donnie Yen knows, who are martial arts champions or masters, I should say, which Donnie Yen is one. And the guy's just trying to be just like Donnie Yen, or Donnie Yen's character. Anyways, check out my review right here. Click that guy. See what I think? Again, gave it a 3.5 out of 5 or 4. One of those two. Just click that, see what I say. Good movie. Check it out. Donnie Yen fans, who cares? Pick it up. Good. Next up, another Will Go USA. This one's more fantasy. Tons of fantasy and tons of CGI. That is Snow Girl and the Dark Crystal. Now, it's okay. It's an okay film, but the CGI is super heavy. A lot of it looks good, but a lot of it looks fake. Some of it does not look good at all. It's like the movements that can't get correct. But overall, okay viewing, I should say. The story is just okay, but it is a little boring, and it's pretty long. If you can find this to rent, definitely rent it before buying. And I usually don't say that when it comes to We'll Go USA films, but this one's just okay. I think I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Boom. Next up, out of the We'll Go USA and into the Artsploitation films, The Treatment, boom, on Blu-ray. And this one's actually really dark and pretty crazy. I think I gave this a 4 out of 5. And I highly enjoy this. It's like on the True Detective level, that TV show, the first season, I should say. And it's really dark, really gritty. And this guy's going after these people who do some crazy shit to these women. Or family, I should say. He's really sick, man. He's really, really sick. And throughout the film, there's suspects. You know, that guy did it, but it wasn't him. It's this other guy. Anyways, definitely pick this up. You definitely got to have this in your collection. It's a pretty dark, pretty crazy film. Not a ton of action. It's a drama. It's really gritty. It's dark. It's just on the same line as True Detective, the TV show, I would say. Next up, getting down into my Arrow film collection. And the first one coming up is a Western. It's actually a decent film. I think I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, and that is Cemetery Without Crosses. It's got decent action, but what this brings to the table compared to other Westerns, it's darker. There's a rape scene in it, which I've never really seen in a Western before. It's pretty dark, and this movie's inspired by the Dollars trilogy, you know, and it's a decent film. I'd definitely say pick it up, especially if you're an Arrow films collector. You gotta pick them all up. Check out my review right here. See what I say. Next up, big old box collection from Arrow Video. That is Stray Cat Rock. Boom. 5 films, 5 Japanese exploitation movies with my girl in it. Miko Kaji, who plays Lady Snowblood. She's in it. She's the main character in 4 of the 5 movies. The last movie, she's not in it too much, but all of them are pretty good. I think the third one, which one is Sex Hunter, is my favorite. It's really gritty, and Miko does a really good job. Her acting in it, but she's very vicious in that one. Very cool box set. You definitely want to pick this up. It's limited to 3,000 copies. Check out my review right here. Gotta pick this up. If you're a Japanese cinema fan or an Arrow films collector, belongs in your collection. Really good stuff. Getting down into my Criterion stuff, which I got a lot of because Criterion had a sale at Barnes & Noble, so I picked up a bunch. And getting down to a Robin Williams film, The Fisher King, with Jeff Bridges also. It's a Terry Gilliam film. Anyways, I thought I didn't see this before, but I definitely did. Robin Williams is playing a bum who used to not be a bum, but Jeff Bridges is playing a disc jockey who made someone kill themselves by accident. He didn't really mean to. Or I should say he made someone go out and kill a bunch of people, which turns out to be Robin Williams' wife was in that bar that guy killed everybody in. And that turns Robin Williams crazy in it and pretty much homeless in it. It's definitely a good movie. You definitely got to pick this up. Next up, Ride the Pink Horse. Boom, Criterion Collection again. This is a gangster film with the lead actor being Hispanic, which he was the first Hispanic to receive an Academy Award nomination. And it's actually a really good movie. It's a film noir, pretty dark-ish in tone. It's actually a really good movie. I would definitely pick this up. It's a good Criterion movie. Next up, Black and White again. Charles Chaplin in Limelight. This is actually a really good movie, and this is not a silent movie, but it is pretty long. It's about almost 140 minutes, but I enjoyed all of it. Charlie Chaplin is playing a comedian in this, on stage that is, and he's playing like a clown. Can almost tell here, but he plays like a clown. He also does little skits on stage. He tries to entertain. He used to be super famous, and when we pick up in this movie, we pick up the ending of his career, and to where people are not really noticing him anymore, but he wants to regain that, so he's trying hard until the end, and guess what? Boom, he does what he has to do, but it's crazy ending. I really enjoyed this. The ending is pretty different for a Charles Chaplin film, so you definitely got to pick this up. It's a really good movie. I definitely recommend this. Even though it is pretty long, it's a good watch. Next up, The Black Stallion. Boom. Not a lot of dialogue in this, by the way. Anyways, it's about a kid and a horse. No, it's good. It's an okay film. I thought it was kind of boring. Alright, next up, another Criterion film, which all the rest of them are. The Palm Beach Story. I had this on my wish list for a pretty good time, and it was actually a really good movie. It's actually in a lot of top 10, or I should say top 100 lists of best movies of all time. I picked it up. It's in black and white, 78 minutes. And I highly enjoyed the acting in it, and the story is really good. I definitely would recommend picking this up. It's definitely a good one to have in your Criterion collection. It's really good. Next up, starring Jack Nicholson, which I didn't know he was going to be in a Criterion film. That is 5 Easy Pieces. Now, Jack, his character's coming from a household that he didn't really like. He left his home a long time ago, but his background is in music. Really, really good pianist. He still enjoys playing the piano throughout the movie. Jack Nicholson's character in this is pretty crazy dude. And at the end is pretty crazy too. I'm not going to give it away because you got to pick it up. I definitely highly recommend this. It's a pretty good movie. It's only 98 minutes and it was filmed in 1970. Jack Nicholson does an excellent job here. Pretty good movie. Last but not least, another Criterion movie. I got Sullivans Travels. And I was really happy I did because this movie is actually really good. You know, I'm the guy that likes movies. I like film. But this movie's about that. It's about making a film. This guy who lived a great life all his life. He's trying to make a movie that's about poor people. He wants to make a hardcore drama about how they live, why they live, but he has no idea how they do. He just wants to make it. He never lived that life. So his idea was he was going to become a bum and he was going to roam the country and see how they live like a bum, jumping on the trains and whatnot. But anyways, definitely pick this up. It belongs in your collection, especially if you're a collector of the Criterion collection. Good movie. Pick it up. I highly enjoyed it and I'm very glad I picked that up. Alright guys, thanks for reviewing. Don't forget to check out all my reviews down below if you don't have your annotations on. If you can't click these little things right here, just go below. Have them all linked down below. Also, don't forget to check out soreelflix.com. It's a great website. Why? Because I'm recently doing a giveaway right now for 3 copies of The Police Story, The Lockdown. So go to soreelflix.com and enter that. Alright guys, thanks for viewing. Come back again next month. And yes, you've seen I didn't have any steelbooks, but I guarantee you I'll have at least one next month in August. Alright guys, Ninja out.